So what's going on in Iran today? There's actually been changes since this book was written. The morality police are the people in charge of enforcing the religious laws, including the Islamic dress code, which they talk about in the book, requires women to cover their head. And here we have an image of an Iranian woman, a conservative woman. You can see her there in her all black covering on the left, working with a police officer on the right to discipline this woman who is dressed more openly, who's showing some of her hair, right? And people started complaining. They started having pictures of themselves posted that they shared with their headscarf off. This is one of those pictures. There was, a movement to allow women more flexibility. And this was successful. The police relaxed their enforcement. So it's still the law in Iran, but you can see here the quote from Tehran's police chief from 2017 saying that they won't be punishing people who don't follow the law. They won't be taken to detention centers, they won't have cases filed against them. Right, so this is an example of how the police actually have a lot of power to decide how the law is enforced. That's very much true in the US as well, right? There are some laws the police focus on, some laws they just let go. But it would be a mistake to think of this as just a, continuous progress, as Iran having been, backwards, more conservative, regressive, more traditionally religious, and becoming more liberal and progressive as time goes on. Because remember, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, it was much more free. Women had the right to vote. I mean, they still had the right to vote, but got the right to vote during that time. They were actually banned from wearing hijabs, banned from wearing Islamic dress. And so we actually see this swinging backwards and forwards through history. We'll talk more about this, but a little bit about the veil in Islam. The thing that's required in Iran is the hijab, but there's many different ways of wearing the veil, many different interpretations of what exactly the requirement is. From some Muslim women wear a very loose scarf that's just kind of draped over their head. The hijab covers all of the hair, and then that goes all the way up to the burqa, which covers the entire body with a grate, so you can't even see the eyes. And it's worth noting that this is supported by many women. On the right here, you see actually a counter-protest to those women who were taking photos of themselves without their scarves on, where they're saying that they think the veil is better. This is, women who think that it's wrong to show your hair and protesting in favor of the more conservative laws. One of the main reasons for the veil in Islam is modesty, is the idea that women should cover themselves to be modest. And this is in no way an alien idea to Christians in the US. These are images from a Christian leaflet advising women how to dress. You can see the rules about covering the knee with their skirts, about not having their undershirts showing. So this idea is common to Christianity as well, this idea that it's correct for women to be more covered in public. We just have a somewhat stronger version of the same concept that we see in Iran.